Hurricanes, Rangers, Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche going head-to-head tonight in the NHL Round 2 of the playoffs. Guys, welcome into PuckTime on WagerTalk TV. I am Andrew, and I am proudly joined by Don Buster for today's Monday edition of PuckTime. We are hoping we see some long series here in Round 2, Buster, but based on some of the series we've seen and what we've seen over the last few days, we might see some end earlier than expected. The Hurricanes, they stayed alive, though, on Saturday night, Buster. They're going to try and do the exact same thing tonight. I'm currently seeing minus 150 favorites for them at home tonight against the Rangers. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Sorry, Andrew, I must have misheard you. Did you say 115? Andrew?
Sorry. That was the wrong number. That was the wrong number.
I was going to say, I'm thinking, I thought
Rangers favorite.
What?
Yeah, sorry. That was the
wrong
wrong
number.
The
Rangers plus 135.
Yeah. Sorry. The Rangers are favored at home. I had the wrong sheet open. Yes. Yeah, what are your thoughts, though, Buster? Yeah. I mean, the Carolina Hurricanes stayed alive. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw that. I was actually seeing a lot of places to pick. Again, I tell you, these playoffs have been great. Like, I know they're always great, but this year seems a little extra special. And you know why? Because I think any team could beat anybody on any given night. Vancouver was total proof of that last night. No matter what side you like here, you get a pick. So that tells me they kind of want New York to win. Because if you think about it, Andrew, when you have a home team up 3-1, that line shouldn't be a pick. It should be like probably 130. They're at home, up 3-1. That just tells you how well Carolina has really been playing. And being down 3-1, we all know because we've all been watching the games. A couple of those overtime games, you win one of those, could be 2-2. It could be 3-1 Carolina. And I expect another great game tonight. And personally, Andrew, I want no part of this coin flip game because I could actually see, depending on how things go, I'm back here on Wednesday with you. I could see us talking about a game 6. Although, you know that Shesterkin will have all kinds to say in that. And I think that gives New York a little bit of an edge there. But again, it wouldn't shock me to see a game 6. Or it wouldn't shock me for Shesterkin to stand on his head and the Canes can't score. Because that's been the problem for Carolina, is that the Canes have had a hard time scoring basically all year. You see it all year that they lost a lot of games that they were putting up 48, 50 shots to 12 or 14 and lose 2-1. So great game. What I do like, though, here, and what I've given to the clients, I'm going to play this game over the 5.5. Always kind of tough to do that when you have Shesterkin in net, and Anderson can play very well. I know that, but it just seems that these two teams, even though when you first started this series, I thought, I haven't touched the total yet, not one. But you think, you know what? It's an under series. Well, 3 of the 4 went over, and probably the 4th game should have went over as well. These offenses are taking over on the defenses, and even though you have 2 good goalies, you're not saving a shot from Aho 6 feet in front of your net. You're not saving against all these guys are there. Or you got Panarin right in front and making all these great steps. I don't care how good of a goaltender you are. And the offenses, all for the first 4 games, have really shown their stuff here to me. And that's why it is an elimination game. Now, last game was an elimination game. I did not bet that total over. I thought Carolina was going to win. I thought they'd win 3 or 4-1, maybe something like that. I didn't like to bet that over. This elimination game, we've seen a lot of crazy things happen in elimination games. I think they go all out. Tonight, Carolina does. Even if they get down from behind, who knows how many empty netters they'll pull. You saw the other night, what was it? Dallas Dallas scored 2 empty netters. So, and one thing that I think matters here for Carolina and for this game is that these power plays, there has been 31 power plays between these clubs. I don't see that changing tonight. I see a lot of power plays again tonight. Carolina got off the schneid that last game. They scored that power play goal to win it. They were 0-16 before that. I think that one gives them some momentum, gives them a little confidence into this game tonight. like I said, all 4 of these games could have been over. I'm looking at the over here. I want no part of the coin flip, Andrew.
I love it, Buster. You say all 4 games could have gone over. I say all 4 games could have gone the Carolina Hurricanes direction. I mean, Igor Shesterkin's been the story. We have seen Panarin play well. We've seen Kreider play well. How about Alexis Lafreniere, the guy that everybody was tough on for many years? Great player. And this is the thing about the NHL, and you see it across multiple sports, but I think in the NHL especially, compared to maybe the NFL and the NBA, where players like Lafreniere need a few years to settle in, right? I mean, there were talks that he could get traded. He wasn't performing enough. The guy's only 22 years old, I believe, here, Buster, and now he's scoring multiple game-winning goals. He's scoring clutch goals late in games for his team. So they're playing extremely well altogether, but we're definitely seeing a few key players play well. But as we see every year in the postseason, how important goaltending really is. And if you and I are breaking down the Oilers series today, we'd be talking about Stuart Skinner with the save percentage he has and 5 goals above expected that he's allowed. Well, right now, it's not like it's been really bad goaltending with Freddie Anderson and Kochetkov for Carolina. It's just been better goaltending for the New York Rangers. And I'm with you. I mean, you saw what happened the last game. Look at that first period. Even though the game wasn't easy and the victory wasn't easy for Carolina, look at that first period. Talk about confidence. Talk about getting a goal in the first, what was it, first 2 minutes, Buster, I think it was, right?
Yeah,
first 2 or 3?
Something like that, 3 minutes maybe, yeah.
That's got to feel real good to go out there and beat Shesterkin early on in the game. And, you know, the only thing we can look at, though, it's kind of a bad point for Carolina, is that they weren't able to hold on to the lead. They weren't able to, and then they still had to go to overtime. That's not really something you're going to be really proud of in a game that was an all or nothing, do or die game, but they were able to get out of it, escape with the victory. And you know, taking a look at some of these numbers here for Shesterkin, it's been unbelievable as far as his saves are concerned. 27, 45, 54 over his last 3 games. I mean, the number of shots he's facing from Carolina, I feel like there's been multiple series like this throughout the playoffs. And I mean, again, the Oilers Canucks last night, perfect example. But when you've got one team out shooting you by, 15, 20 shots, eventually things sort of have to turn. And it's very hard to come back when you're down 3-1, Buster, let alone, when there was 3-0. But I believe in this Hurricanes team because even though a win is a win and a loss is a loss, every single game, this Hurricanes team has been right there. They have been right there with the Rangers. And you mentioned the pricing, and I love the way you said it because it was a good segue there. You said, for this team, it's at home with the 3-1 lead, and this is the price. And I kind of felt the same way. I mean, think about it. When they were at home, Carolina, I was reading last game's number, which is why I had the mistake to start the show off there. They were a clear minus 150 favorite. This Hurricanes team, and me and you could say to each other, well, they were the team that was on the facing elimination. They were on the brink of elimination after they were almost going to get purely swept. And yet they were minus 150, 160 even. I saw some books, which was crazy, favorites. So we're getting the pick'em price now. Obviously, it seems to me that what's going on here with this team. So Buster, you've been doing this a lot longer than me. What the hell's going on? I mean, do they not believe the Rangers deserve to be in the spot that they're in? Because right now, I'm tempted to put a little bet on the money line for the Hurricanes and a little bet on the team total over 2.5. It didn't make the client card, but a short card play for me last game was the over 2.5 team total. Got there in the second period. I think whether they win or not, and I think I like your over as well, I think the Hurricanes reach the 3-goal mark. But I mean, why do you think this price is what it is here, Buster? Is it just the fact that the Hurricanes have been right there over the past few games? Because it's kind of peculiar the Hurricanes had that price for them at home. Now the Rangers are at home, and then this is the price. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, you know why? Because everybody's watching the games, obviously. And of course, the odds makers know as well. And with Carolina, there's a lot of reason they've carried a lot of this play. Let's just go through some of the stats as that kind of count. Carolina has outshot the Rangers in every game in this series. They have out hit them in every game except for one. A couple of them have been close. But what I think is important and what can make a difference, it probably did make the difference in that 4-3 win late last game for Carolina. They have beat the Rangers, even at home or away. They've beat them at the faceoff circle. And everybody knows that watches NHL hockey, been doing this, as you say, Andrew, as long as I have. In the playoffs, especially, of course it matters in the regular season, but especially when you have tight games, winning those faceoffs deep in the zone, getting the puck back to the point man, shooting that puck, deflections, you try to get it at the net, good things happen. And Carolina has basically dominated the Rangers in all those facets of the game. What's killed them, as I mentioned earlier, is the power plays. The Rangers have been very good on the power plays. I think they were, not great, but good enough. I think they might be hitting 20% or something, 25%. But, and again, you know what bothers me? Boy, I can't bet Carolina tonight. If they can win this game, I'll bet them in Game 6. But you said it earlier. They get a 2-0 lead at home. I was expecting them to just go, next thing you know, being 4-0 and Shesterkin taking a little seat on the bench getting ready for tonight's game. But no, they let Rangers right back in. And they've been playing sloppy defense. And that's killed Carolina in this series. Now, that may be a testament to the Rangers on how good of an offensive club is. Thus, no part of the game tonight for me. And I think, like at 5.5, the offenses will still be there again tonight too. So those might be reasons why, because, and you know, Andrew, the last team was in 2014, the LA Kings and good old Jonathan Quick. They were down 3-0 to San Jose, came back, won that series. And guess what? They won the Stanley Cup, and they were getting outplayed in games a lot. Kind of reminds me a little bit of my buddy Patty Waugh in 1986. Montreal got outplayed a ton. But you can win Stanley Cups when you have a goaltender in like that. And with the Rangers having a Shesterkin, that's going to make it hard for Carolina to win these next 3 games.
You certainly can. And as you mentioned, the power play, the special teams, it's a huge part of the game. And I was getting Rangers fans going on Twitter, Buster, saying that, that's all they've got. It's all they have is their power play. And then, of course, the game after that, they scored a shorthanded goal. So they were like, well, how about the shorthanded goal?
Well, they have their special teams, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It still counts. So 5-on-5, this is the thing, though. At the end of the day, with Carolina, if they would have gone out and it would have been 4-0, it would have been really easy for them to look back, and very similar to the Maple Leafs, honestly, to look back at their reflect on the series and just say to themselves, what went wrong? And they can look at this goal, look at that goal, look at this defensive mistake. But, when you're like 0 for 13 on the power play at one point, it's hard to really, pinpoint anything else but the power play. I couldn't believe that Evgeny Kuznetsov was a healthy scratch for Game 1. The guy looked great last game. He scored a goal. He's playing a huge part of the team. Jake Gensel has been, a top-notch player as expected for this team. Sebastian Aho, they need all hands on deck. One guy I wanted to mention, you mentioned about getting passes out to the point and getting shots from there. Brady Shea, his assist prop and his point prop has hit in 4 of the last 5 games. The point prop is plus 120. He did score in the last game. It's plus 120, plus 160 for the assist if you want to get specific. And again, keeping it with the defenseman, Dmitry Orlov. He had that bad mistake 2 games ago, but over 1.5 shots on goal for him. It's not the best price by any means. It's minus 150, but it has cashed in 4 of the last 5 games. How about Vinny Trocheck? Trocheck playing extremely well with his shots on goal, with his points. He's been a good guy looking at it for the prop perspective. Is there anything for the props you've looked at, Buster? I know that you've kind of got more into it usually throughout the playoffs. If you don't have anything, all good. We can move on to the next one.
Yeah, I've been playing a few guys for Carolina. I actually been playing Fox as well for the Rangers. And his price has still been around minus 135. I don't think he got a point last game, but I'm pretty sure he's had a point in 3 of the 4 games. But yeah, I kind of go through, I don't know if I learned this from you or watching you and Andy and that propped up. I've been kind of sticking with the same guys. As you know, last year I rode that Jonathan Marchessault the whole way. And why not? If you could see guys getting 6-point runs, 7-point runs, and the odds makers not increasing the number. Like a lot of these guys, some of these guys, you can't play them. They're to get a point, they're 185, 190. But then some guys, they're under 150, 135, where they probably should be 175 or 185 to get a point. So I try to find guys like that are under that 150 mark that have been playing well. That looks like a lot of times I like to get the guy in the number one power play, or at least on the power play, which always helps you get a few extra shots there and that. So yeah, I think Fox might be a good play tonight.
I just find overall the defensemen, you just don't see the odds makers change the prices, Buster, as you mentioned about riding those streaks, whether it's a forward defenseman from one game to the next. They don't really take too much time to adjust. And when it's in the playoffs, there's another game in 2 days. You can start cashing on that guy once again. And I've got someone to mention in the Dallas and Colorado game. So guys, stay tuned for that. This guy has hit his prop in 5 straight games. Before we jump into game number 2, though, guys, please do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel here, WagerTalk TV. You can find all of our best bets, all of our favorite plays over at WagerTalk.com. But, hey, if you're just happy to be here with us, show us some love, like the video, and subscribe to our channel. We're also live on Instagram Reels, on Shorts, on Facebook as well. We also have a 5% NHL play up tonight from our brother Carmine Bianco. So he is having a good playoff run in the NHL. Great 2024. So you guys can join him tonight with his 5% NHL play. And I think it's going to be a good one. So 2 great games tonight. If you guys want a big play, join Carmine on that one. All right, Buster. I'll start things off with the guy I was just talking about. Dallas and Colorado. We see a rough one from Colorado in the last outing, man. Dallas took it to them early on. I thought Colorado had some chances early on. They couldn't get it going. The player I was talking about that's had his great streak with his props from the Dallas Stars, Tyler Seguin. Now, they're plus 115 tonight, what I'm seeing at my book right now, minus 135 the other way for Colorado. Tyler Seguin now in 5 straight games, guys. He's gone over the 2.5 shots on goal mark. And Buster, as we talked about, they do not change the odds. It's very weird. Sometimes they'll go from 115 to 120, 120 to 125. We've seen Seguin hit this number in 5 straight games. He's at minus 120. And I just think that there's such a great mix of veteran players and younger players on this team. I mean, you look at Jamie Benn, you look at Tyler Seguin, talk about Pavelski, and then you've got the younger players, right? Like especially Wyatt Johnston, but even Robertson and, some of those younger players that really are kind of being under the radar a little bit. And I think that Seguin at minus 120 has to be a play again for the shots on goal. And some guys like him are at 3.5, but he's at 2.5 to minus 120. But what are your thoughts here, Buster? It's the second game in the high altitude in Denver, and Colorado laid an egg once again. And the first periods continue to be a struggle now. They've been outscored 5-0 in the first periods. Are you backing the Avalanche to bounce back?
I actually am, but I'll just take a quick minute to also wish our brother Carmine the best of luck. It's shocking that he's actually on holiday again on a beach somewhere. So have a pina colada, watch whatever game it is that you have as a winner, and have a good one, brother. As far as here, yeah, I'm all in on Colorado, to tell you the truth. Even though the series is 2-1, this game feels do or die for Colorado to me. If they lose 2 games at home, they're done. I can't see it. It's funny. We just talked about the other series. I don't feel the same way with the Carolina one. I feel Carolina has that shot. I'm not sure if Colorado does if they go back to Dallas down 3-1. So I really think this series gets to 2-2 tonight. But here's the problem. The world, maybe the whole world, maybe Mars if there's people on Mars, maybe wherever. are betting Colorado. When I put it in myself, because I try not to listen to that kind of stuff or see that kind of stuff, I just go by my numbers and what I do. 92% of the money was on Colorado. Andrew, we both bet NFL football. If you were betting NFL football and you seen a team like that, like Colorado, you would run from Colorado as fast and as far as you could, for sure. But this is the NHL playoffs, and this thing happens all the time, especially in this kind of the way the format is and when you need these must-wins. A lot of times throughout the years, sometimes you don't get them, but a majority time with a team like Colorado, who I think hasn't played their best hockey yet. I don't know if they're just going with what they did against Winnipeg as they dominated that series, made probably the best defensive team look just brutal. And now they haven't, to me, I don't think they've really played that well at all in any game. They're down 2-1. I think that changes tonight. I really do. I think they, as you said about the first periods, Andrew, I think they come out and they can win this first period too. They actually played a really good first period last game. I think they all played them pretty well, but that late goal got them. I think that happens. It's NHL hockey. It happens. As far as the total here, I really want no part of it. 6.5 is probably a good total. These two teams obviously can score. They obviously can play some defense. The big key we all know is Ottinger. This guy can, I wouldn't say he's playing Shesterkin-like, but he's playing good enough right now. And Georgiev, my worry with Colorado, I really believe that they could win the cup. My worry was that they'd have to beat teams. Some games, they'd have to beat them 7-4 and 6-5, but I figured they have enough firepower to do that. Right now, that's not happening. For whatever reason, it's just not happening. But Colorado have been, if you go through the games, they have, even though I personally don't think they've been playing as well as they can, they have carried a lot of big parts of the games. Ottinger's made the right save at the right time. And it's not like they've been totally having all kinds of just unbelievable saves by Ottinger. It's just, Dallas is playing what Dallas does. They're a very good, disciplined hockey team, and they're very well coached. But again, what has to happen for Colorado and for all of us that are going to be betting Colorado, because I'm sure almost everybody here in this chat, you'll get the odd contrarian, which is probably, who knows, might be smart, but I can't do it. Love Colorado tonight. They have to get that great power play back on track. The last two games, 0 for 6 on the power play. That can't happen tonight if they're going to win. They need to start on fire right off the bat and don't even let Dallas in this game. Tell Dallas, let's go back 2-2 to Colorado.
I love it. You're bringing the energy, and I can tell that.
Back to Dallas. Sorry.
Back to Dallas.
Back to Dallas.
Well, you know what? I've been getting confused on the home ice as well, because guess what? There has been some stuff that's changed this season. I feel like every show I mix it up with Carolina, the fact that they're the road team in the series. Same thing with Colorado now. They're the road team. Not tonight, but overall in the series they are. So I'm with you. I've been making that same mistake as well. And you look at this Colorado team, and they're 6-2 in their 8 playoff games to their team total over 3.5. I had a big play on the weekend with their team total, and they got Ottingered. They got goalied. And that's the thing, is that you and I can come sit up here, we can go on PuckTime, and we can talk about teams getting goalied. And the thing is that it's so interesting to look at, because whether you're an eye test guy and you watch the games, the next game you can look and say, you know what, this goalie, he's doing well, but the team's going to have to, if they do the same thing again, things are going to be different. And if you're an analytics guy, you can take a look at the numbers, and you can actually take a look at things and say that Colorado won the analytics battle, 3.49 to 3.11 expected goals. They lost that game 4-1. So is Alexander Georgiev playing poorly? Or is Ottinger just playing better than him? Probably a little bit of both. Yeah, probably a little bit of both. But I wouldn't say that Georgiev has really been bad. I just think that Ottinger is shutting them down, and it becomes frustrating, because one thing for Colorado I noticed, Buster, is that this team, when they start to second guess, when they start to have an open shot and they choose to pass it over to someone else because they want to make that perfect play, it's not good for them because you can tell they're in their heads. They're frustrated. Nathan MacKinnon could have had 2 goals in the first period. He had an open net and he broke his stick. The second play, he was wrapping around the net and he fell. There were all kinds of mistakes for this team. Overall, though, even though this team has been outscored 5-0 in the first period, I'm going to try and catch a falling knife. And I know it's dangerous and you're not supposed to do it. But when it comes down to it, the first goal of the game is important in this series. And I also believe that in general, this team, this Colorado team, will not win a low-scoring game against the Dallas Stars. I'm confident in it, Buster, that they have to reach the 4-goal mark. You know, I do not regret my play on the team total on the weekend with Colorado, despite Ottinger playing so well, because I still believe for them to have won that game over Dallas, they would have had to score 4 goals. So I'm going to go ahead and take the first period minus a half goal at plus 160 for the Avalanche for them to win the first period. You know, if we thought that they would come out strong at home in game 3, well, I'm sure they're going to come out at home very strong in game 4 as well and try and avoid going down and then being on the brink of elimination in their next game. So that's your old special. The first period price there at plus 160. I thought it's a great one. And I understand they've had a real rough time in the first periods, but if they go down early, I mean, how much comfort do you have, Buster, if you've got Shesterkin, if you've got Ottinger, if you have some of these goalies right now in the playoffs, if you get a 2-0 lead, for some teams, it's like having a 4-0 lead because their goalies are that good, right?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And you know, Andrew, I'll just get back to something what you said about Colorado not shooting, taking the shots. That Dallas-Vegas series, and that's what kind of put me on. I really like Colorado, as I probably said this all during the PuckTime shows this year and everything. Once they made all those moves and got 3 solid lines, I mean, maybe 4 even, if you want to go that far. I really like Colorado, but Vegas getting back. Geez, they were so frustrating to watch. They do the same thing. They pass, like shoot the puck. And Colorado has to do the same. You're bang on right about that. That they don't shoot the puck. And if you give Ottinger time to see that puck, you're not beating him. Just like Shesterkin, you're not beating him. As far as Gorgiev, what he has to do, he has to make the saves when they matter. He has to make that big save. He can't just, even games, like say there's, a nice 2-on-1 and then makes a nice pass. He's got to get over and make that save. Not just get over, oh, well, it's a goal. No, he has to make some key saves or Colorado will have trouble. And he's capable. There's no doubt he's capable. He just hasn't played like it. And even in that Winnipeg series, he didn't play no hell, but you know what? Colorado just outscored him so much it didn't really matter. But it's funny. I know we got to go here, Andrew, but just a quick question. Who would you rather have for, let's just say for the playoffs before this started? Would you rather have Ottinger or would you rather have had Hellebuyck in net? Right? Well, you know what Colorado did to Hellebuyck. What are they going to, but they haven't done that to Ottinger yet. I think they're capable. They have to start tonight.
Great point. And I mean, Hellebuyck, did you see the quotes that he had after the series? I don't think he meant it in any disrespectful way. He said that he thought he was playing great hockey. He said he felt like he was playing some of the best hockey of his career, but he couldn't see anything. And it goes back to the point. They have to get bodies in front of the net. They have to screen the goaltender. They have to stop trying to score the fancy goals. That's why certain teams are eliminated. You hate to bring them up, but we're going to do it because it's a fact. That's why the Maple Leafs are out, because all they do is score nice goals. They need to start scoring some more garbage goals and get the rebounds, get shots from the point. And speaking of shots from the point, Cale Makar, he is not shooting the puck right now. He hasn't gone over his 3.5 in 4 of his last 5 games. He's plus 135 to get to the 4-shot mark. They need him. You hate to say that they need a defenseman to be an offensive guy for them, but that's what Cale Makar was all season. It's what he was against Winnipeg. So for him to get a point or for him to get a nice goal on the power play, for him to create chances, they need him to step up. The fact that over the past few games, he's only had a handful of shots. It's not good. The last game he did get going, though. He had about 7 or 8 attempts just alone in the end of the third period there. I think Cale Makar plays a huge factor. But, guys, Tyler Seguin, Logan Stankoven, Wyatt Johnston, those guys are playing extremely well. But I will continue to go with Cale Makar. I'll continue to look at the assist prop for him as well. And, Buster, I know we think it's a little bit simple to say the most chalky guy, but I will tell you, I will be betting on McKinnon to score a goal tonight. After the game he had last game, he'll want to put one in tonight. And I think that sometimes your best player has to be your best player. So we've given out lots of plays here on the show tonight, but across the board, MLB, we got NHL, NBA, we got CFLs around the corner. Buster, what do you have going for clients this week?
Yeah, I have tonight. I just have 2 best bets in the hockey. I've gave them away here, so don't buy that package. But what you can do is, as you mentioned, Andrew, CFL's just around the corner. Be talking to the powers that be in the next couple of days and setting up some kind of. I noticed that you had a CFL hockey package. Maybe I'll be doing something similar. Number 1 lifetime at WagerTalk, plus 138 units in CFL. Number 1 in 5% plays lifetime, hitting 74% in the CFL. So, hey, the season starts June 6th. It's going to be here before we know it. So look for something. I've got a lot of guys that follow me in the CFL that have been all access clients actually for years here now. So there'll be something come up for a little bit of deal, probably with the CFL, NHL, once I talk to the powers that be today. As always, thanks for having me, Andrew. I appreciate it. I guess the luck that our buddy Carmine likes to take a vacation every 3 or 4 weeks helps me out in that way. So just kidding you, brother. And I'll see you Wednesday, and hopefully we'll have 2 games on Wednesday as well, Andrew.
Yes, yeah, no, it's good to have you on, and sometimes it is nice having just 2 people to go back and forth a bit more, and we hope Carm's wearing sunscreen, especially on that head of his. Hopefully he comes back feeling good and ready to talk some more playoff hockey with us. So, yeah, guys, great stuff today, and as Buster mentioned, I do still have that package up. You get my whole CFL season, 3 straight profitable seasons, 10-2 plus 40 unit, 5% run. We'll throw in the rest of the NHL playoffs at no added cost. So CFL season special plus the remainder of the NHL playoffs. But some plays going today in the major leagues. Also 1 best bet up in the NHL. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Wager Talk today coming up at 12 o'clock Eastern. We'll see you next time right here on Puck Time.